to another stream. I am excited to tell you about this one. I'm excited to this one. So, this is the aftermath of my Wild Child booking, my DJ set in Skegness. But there is also a bonus gig aftermath. So, I got a last minute booking that also came in for yesterday, and I did two sets. I did two sets in one day, and what a day it was! So I'm really looking forward to talking about this one and dissecting everything that kind of went on yesterday and just how awesome it was. And it's definitely got me thinking massively. And I am going to be making a further announcement regarding something that I'm not really sure when I'm going to kind of announce it, but it's going to hit the internet by storm, most definitely, when I do announce it. And I think it's going to get mixed emotions when I announce it as well. I think some people are going to be like, all right, fair enough, and then other people are going to be kind of a little bit more like, I didn't see that coming. But it definitely got me thinking. I had such an amazing day, and I want more days kind of like that to come. So there's going to be an announcement that's going to come at some point this year. I'm not, like I say, exactly sure when I'm going to announce it. I might do a little like YouTube announcement at some point soon, and then I'll be doing like some form of Facebook post going forward at some point. But yesterday, how do we even begin to dissect what an awesome day was yesterday? So, when we do these streams and when we do these aftermaths, I kind of have like in my mind like the past bookings. So, when we went to Scotland, that was one of the best sets that I've ever played out for me. It was absolutely fantastic. I was on form, I was on point. When we did things like Stormfest last year, really cracking sets, really enjoyed them, got people going, got people singing, all the rest of it. Yesterday, absolutely blew any other set I have ever played out of the water. And we're going to explain about all of that in the stream. So, yesterday I woke up nice and early. I actually woke up about 7:30, probably a little too early. I'd set my alarm for 9:15. But I woke up at 7:30 and we was heading over to Skegness for Wild Child, which is kind of like it's a new event, and they do like basically like kids rave, and it's like they book and put DJs on, and essentially you can bring the whole family, so you can basically come raving, you can bring your kids, and you get like the kids rave experience. And kids can buy like glow sticks and get their face painted, kind of like taking them to a party, but you have all the rave music there. Myself and the layman, we both got booked to play a Clubland set, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was absolutely bricking it. Like, I, for some reason, like when it comes to DJing, like I get nervous, but I don't get nervous like when I'm going to an event to MC. But for some reason yesterday, I got really nervous about the set, and sort of leading up to the gig, I'm not gonna lie to you, putting the set together was very very stressful, and I did a lot of. Sometimes when it comes to putting sets together, I will do little like editing and techniques and tweaks, and I'll do my own little spin on sets and stuff. But this time, with this Clubland set, I went all in. So like every track practically nearly had like some form of editing done to it, or there was like a cue point set on it. And I don't normally go into that much detail putting a set together, because normally I'm quite sort of confident behind the decks that I can just kind of put a few tracks in a playlist and then kind of maybe just sort of wing the rest sometimes. Or, I have a good idea what I'm doing. This Clubland set was kind of very different, and there was a lot of things that needed to be right about this set. In terms of like when vocals came in on tracks and how long breakdowns were in tracks, and there was loads of stuff that I wasn't even really aware of, and it was quite stressful trying to put like different parts of the set together. But it was really fun at the same time. This is not me saying, oh, I hated it and I didn't enjoy it. But there was times where I did want to chuck the computer out of the window. There was a track, and I just could not. I was doing an edit on it, and then I just could not get it to stay in time. And I was scratching my head, and I was trying all different things, and I even looked up videos online, and then I realised I just made one simple little error. And when you're just getting that worked up and stressed out, and you don't realise you've made that tiny little error, that was kind of what had happened. And then I realised I'd made this error. So I put the set together, and I finally got it finished on the night before the gig, where I thought, you know what, I'm happy with that. And like I say, I woke up at 7:30 on the Saturday morning, yesterday morning. I think I was just excited as well. And I knew that like we had to be up early to set off, and I just thought I don't want to miss, like my lift, Layman coming to pick me up kind of thing. So I was kind of prepared, like in knowing that, look, I have to be ready, kind of thing. Because if I'm not ready, then it's just not going to go right. And when you're thinking like, make sure the USB stick's packed, and make sure the headphones are packed, and you've got everything you need, and and then even thinking down to like, do I grab a drink out of the fridge for the journey, and make sure I have some breakfast and all the rest of it. There was loads of stuff that I was kind of thinking of in my mind, um, but I was well prepared. I was well ready, and we set off to what was going to be an amazing afternoon and then a chilled out night. But little did I know that the night was going to be far from chilled out. So we get travelling to Skegness, and I think we're just going over the Humber Bridge, sort of maybe just gone over the Humber Bridge. And I get a text message from a friend of mine who runs a nightclub in Grimsby, and he's got an event going on there on the Saturday night, and he's got Ultra B, MC Cover, loads of people, and he's celebrating his birthday, and he's got a little something going off kind of thing, and he texts me, and he says, was this kids rave, was it my only booking for the day? And I thought, hang on a second, like, I think I'm about to get booked here. I don't really know what's going on, but I think I'm about to get booked, and we're kind of driving along, and I'm sort of saying to Lee, I'm saying, hang on, I think I'm about to get a booking here. Like, would you be up for, doing two bookings in one day? And then we were kind of, at the time, we were a little bit like, oh, and then we're like, oh, let's smash two bookings in one day. And funnily enough, it was a booking, and two DJs had actually pulled out. They could no longer make the event, which was a little bit, of a shame. So I got the opportunity of either doing the 12 till 1 or the 1 till 2 set, and I decided, you know what, let's take the night set. So I said to Lee, I said, look, we're going to go on the decks at midnight. You happy to host, and all the rest of it. And, we come to, a little bit of an arrangement and an agreement, if you like. And that was it. So be it, second booking of, came in, a little last minute thing. So we were kind of a little bit excited, like, oh, we're going to smash two sets in today, really excited. So we go to the Wild Child anyway, and what an amazing event that was. It was so good to see all the little mini ravers jumping around and having fun. And what blew me and Lee away the most is, like, we're playing like Clubland tracks. So we're playing stuff like Flip and Phil, Shooting Star, and Ultra Beat, Feeling Fine, and Nicky Medell, Dancing in the Dark. And the mad thing about it is you've got these like younger kids, and they're singing along, and they're knowing the tracks. and it was just absolutely phenomenal that they knew these tracks. So we get there, and the vibe is just going off. People enjoying themselves. There's a bit of a queue when we get there. We get there quite like I mean, I'm not on till 3 o'clock, but the layman was doing photographs, so we had to be there from the start. And we got there with like just minutes to spare because we got into Skegness, and it was a good thing stroke a bad thing, but the weather was absolutely belting. The sun was shining. There was families out in force on the seafront, the fish and chip shops, and the little hot dog places, and the arcades and the shops. They're absolutely rammed. And then you've got the families where they're bringing the push chairs, and then they brought the nan along, and she's on the mobility scooter, and proper, just like proper, everybody out in force, sun is shining, everybody making the most of the Easter weather. So, the whole place was packed, and finding a parking place was next to impossible. We drove down side streets after side streets. We pulled into car parks only to find that there wasn't a space available, to have to drive back out. And then we eventually found one, like a shopping centre car park. We had to park in there, and we had to pay like so many hours that we were going to be there. But we got parked in the end. Got to the event. It was absolutely banging. There's a guy called Elliot who was playing some house music. Really good vibe. It was just warming people up as like people was coming in. And then sort of after Elliot, we had the amazing DJ Fader, who was only 8 years old, which was absolutely phenomenal. And he played a really good set to say he's only 8 years old, and he was absolutely, he was absolutely shitting a brick. He was so nervous, and it was the first time, apart from just having a play around on his dad's decks at home, that he'd come out to a nightclub, and he'd actually gone up there, and he smashed that set. He tore it to pieces. For a little kid, it was amazing. You can't knock it. The kid got up there, he stood in front of an audience, and he played a full bounce set for an hour. And the thing about it is as well, is Club Filler and Storm, they were on after him. So the fact that he's 8 years old and he's handing the decks over to Club Filler and Storm is amazing in itself. But Club Filler and Storm must have had the same issue we had with the parking, and they were actually late. And the fun fact about it is the little Fader 8-year-old DJ, he was all set for carrying on. There's this 8-year-old kid like, oh, I've got another stick full of tunes, and he's just pulling this other stick out, ready to carry on, and he'd absolutely smashed it. And then he carried on for a little bit longer, and then they were going to put the house DJ back on just to change it up a little bit. But then just as the house DJ was pulling his laptop out of his bag to kind of start getting things ready again to go back on, Club Filler and Storm turned up, so it was all good. And I think they were only maybe something like, I don't know, like maybe 5 minutes late at the most, or something like that. And they were very sort of quickly to jump on and jump straight into the set, and it was really good to see him as well. Really good to see Club Filler again. I've seen him so many times, whether it be just at events, whether it be one I'm playing at. It was really good for him to hand the decks over to me as well. That was a really good feeling, and it was a really good vibe as well. So we jumped on and we played a Clubland set, and the set went really well. The set went absolutely amazing, and everybody loved it. Everybody was singing along. The promoter was happy. We smashed it. Lehman smashed the hosting. Loads of people were saying like, you did a really good set. And then even like after sort of the set, we'd gone outside to get some air and stuff, and people was coming up to us like, you did a really good set, and people wanted to take pictures and stuff, which was really good. And people like, some people don't always know, like, because there were some ravers there that you see when, like, like it's a normal rave and they haven't got the kids. And sometimes, like, I go to a lot of events with the layman when he's just photographing, and I'll just go to the event and I'll just kind of like chill out at the event, and a little bit of a night out for me, and a little bit of a chance just to enjoy myself and listen to some music and socialize. So some people only maybe know me for that, and sort of, maybe sort of, oh yeah, yeah, I thought he was a DJ, but I've not really seen him DJ, and then they see me DJ, and then it kind of sort of, not to sound big-headed or blow my own trumpet, but it kind of blows them away, like they don't expect it. Or maybe some of them didn't even know I DJ'd at all, and they're like, we didn't even know he was a DJ, and then again, they're kind of blown away that we've just gone and done this set. So people was really happy, people was really buzzed and good, and it was a really good vibe. And then sort of after the set, I handed the decks over to Rob IYF, who went on and smashed in a hardcore set, which I don't know how well it went. We kind of caught the beginning of it, but then we sort of left afterwards because of the parking time and stuff, and it was starting to die out a little bit. And the thing about it is, like, kids raves, they're a lot harder than kind of like raves for the older people, because kids and kind of like attention spam, and kids get hungry, and then kids start moaning like, I've had enough now, or I want to leave now, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna shoot off and get the kids some food, and like, oh, the little one's getting tired now, or sometimes the hardcore might be a little bit too banging for the kids, and and just kind of you know a lot of things can kind of like change within a sort of kids rave, whereas an adult rave, you go out there and you're out on a night out, and you're there for most of the event. Do you know what I mean? So I think it was starting to die out a little bit. I mean, it was kind of, I would say the event was at its busiest for like the Club Filler and Storm, and then sort of after the Club Filler and Storm, they were kind of like, we've done sort of about 3 hours of this now. Few people starting to get a little bit tired. Then we came on, and then we kind of like kept the energy, and we brought like some people who had like gone to sit down. We kind of brought them sort of to like to stand back up, and then kind of like, yeah, let's stand back up and have a little bit of a dance and sing along. And then kind of like after our set, they were kind of like, we're done, we're finished, and it started to fade out. So we used it, and with the parking, we used it as an opportunity to say our farewell. We'd had like a really amazing time. Big shout to Ruby. We'd had an amazing time, really good event. Massive respect to Paul Ford for the booking, very appreciated, and hopefully, he'll book me again in the future, whether it's for something just like a normal adult rave, whether it's another kids rave. I'd love to definitely go back and play at that venue again. It was a really good venue. I always like going and just attending events there as well, so it would be really nice to go there and smash in some sets and stuff like that. So hopefully, there is another booking that kind of comes out of it, which was really good. So we left, and it was time to kind of recuperate. It was kind of time to recharge. It was time to kind of chill out for a little bit. So we headed to go and pick a friend up who was going to come to the second gig with us. So we had a little bit of a road trip just outside of Skegness, and then we called and had some food, a really nice bit of food. Went and had a nice meal. I got like a gammon steak, and Layman got like this kind of like big like chicken meal where you get like loads of different bits of chicken, and there was some like spicy chili chicken, and then there was stuff like onion rings and chips, and a proper pub meal it was. And it was really nice. It was kind of, it was nice because after the event, you get thirsty and you get hungry, and it was kind of like, do you know what, like it was just nice to sit somewhere and not kind of like, as much as like the food on the seafront at Skegness was smelling absolutely delicious. I could have gone and got some fish and chips just like that. But I just thought, it's nice to sit somewhere and just have a nice proper sit down meal, and just have a really enjoyable bit of food and a bit of a chill out, a chance to sit down and you're not sort of in a rush. You don't have to sort of eat it by a certain time. And again, we were pushed for parking, so queuing in the busy seafront to get like fish and chips was just not really something we was gonna do, and put the parking at risk and stuff like that. And when there's hundreds of people out in force like that, the traffic wardens, they're going to be on duty. They're going to have their eyes on every car, and cars that are late, they're going to get tickets. Do you know what I mean? They'll use it as a good, it's a good day for them to catch loads of people, and they'll use it to their advantage because it's so busy. They'll want to catch people off guard who, maybe parking for longer than they should, or parking somewhere they shouldn't park, where it's a no parking zone, or maybe they pulled up and they don't realise it's a maximum hour stay or something. So, they'll be out in force. So it was best just to, in this instance, keep on the right side of the law, let's say. So we ate the food, went and picked our friend up, went to where our friend lives and kind of just like pardon. We had a drink and we chilled for a bit, and we kind of just, like I say, we recuperated, and then sort of, by the time we'd got there and we'd eaten, time was already getting on a bit. So we chilled for a little bit, and then we hit the road to go to Grimsby. We hit the road, and the one of the light bulbs had gone out in the headlight of the car, which was not necessarily a good thing. It was dark, it was night, so we had to kind of go on the hunt for a petrol station where we could change the bulb in the car. And then we went to one petrol station and they didn't have it. And they recommended we went to another petrol station, which was quite a few miles up the road, but it was still on our journey. We didn't have to go out of the way. So we went to this other petrol station. Luckily, they had what we wanted. So we got the bulb, quick change, and then we was just back on the road to Grimsby. And we got to Grimsby. Now, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. For me, anyway, most definitely. So we get to Grimsby. The event's rocking. It's doing well. It's not the busiest event, but it's doing well. There's people out in force for Math's birthday. Lots of people that we recognise and know, some of our friends. So it's like just meeting and greeting and seeing everybody, and just having a little bit of a good time, and just listening to some of the music, having a drink, sitting in the VIP area, and just kind of chilling and getting sort of prepared for the set in the best way that we can do. Now, bearing in mind, I got the phone call the morning when we were heading to Skegness, so I had no time to sit at any computer. I didn't plan any form of a set or anything. I just, had the USB stick. It had whatever tunes was on it, and then we just kind of winged it. We just went with it. We just winged it, and it was just, that was it really. It was just winging it as far as we, went. So we went on at midnight. Lehman hosted me again, and what can I say other than wow? So for me, and this is no word of a lie, this is literally no word of a lie. So for me, by far, it was the best set that I have ever played in a nightclub. Hands down, the best set. Now, I've done bounce to your drop gigs, I've done stomping gigs, I've done DNA gigs, I've done Stormfest gigs, I've done bounce to infinity gigs, I've done big gigs, I've done small gigs, and I played some really good sets over the period of kind of like the last couple of years, sort of tackling this DJ journey. And nothing compared to this set. And I don't like I sit here now and I think like, how did I do that set? How did I pull that set off? And I don't know. I just went on. I just completely winged it. No idea really of what I was gonna play other than I was gonna play a bounce set. No idea really of like what tunes I was gonna drop. So I literally just went into a folder. I just thought, all right, I'll grab a set starter track from Pitch Invader. So I just thought I'll start with that, and we just went from there, and we just absolutely the set just flew, and it just flowed, and everything just went right. Everybody was up, everybody was singing. There was highs of the set, there was lows of the set. So like there was tracks that took you on a real euphoric journey. There was tracks that came in with like a little bit of a hard, heavy hitting drop, and then there was tracks that came in a little bit more lighter. There was remixes of classics. There was well-known vocals. I was just dancing away. I just could not believe what had happened. And it was just absolutely crazy. Like I'd never witnessed myself playing on form like I did. And every tune, like again, not to sound big-headed, but I was just slamming them in. And it just, the CDJs that we used, which I can't remember. I don't know if it was the 800s or the nine. I think it was the 900s. But they just felt so good to mix on. And I just felt like everything was just so good. Everything felt right. All the decks worked. Every button was just kind of perfect, and it was just a really good. Like everything just worked, and then I was just getting the mixes in like really easy and really quick, and it was sounding really good. And everybody, like the other DJs, they were watching. They really enjoyed the set. They were taking videos, and then the event promoter and the club owner, I don't think he could quite believe it. It got towards the end of the set, and like I was still going, and I was still jumping around. I was still slamming tunes in, and he was just sat, and he was just watched, and he just had like the biggest smile on his face, but like at the same time, he was just concentrating on watching us, and he was just mesmerized, and he couldn't believe like just what was. I don't think he could quite believe what was happening. So we just absolutely. I don't even know where the set came from, how I even managed to pull it off. Like and again, nothing was planned. There was no like I didn't sit at the laptop and think, right, what am I going to play at Fusion this weekend? It was turn up, play what was ever on the stick, and some people can do that, and I obviously can do that. I do personally sometimes like to have a little something prepared, but for me, it was amazing. Um, just how it all came together. And then the guy who runs the club spoke to us after, and he was like, "We need to do more stuff. We need to get you back more." So he's going to send me some dates over, and I will be returning to Fusion. So there you go. What a weekend! So 3 till 4 in the afternoon, we smashed the clubland set, and then at 12 till 1 on the Saturday evening, we smashed bounce set, which was just full of loads of different tracks, bounce tracks, scouse tracks, really good. So there you go. So that was the weekend. That was the weekend antics. That was literally everything that had gone down, everything that had taken place. Absolutely amazing. And like I say, the whole day, it got me thinking. I'm going to be making an announcement, but I think quite personally, um, it's a positive announcement to a degree. It's without giving too much away, without saying too much about kind of what it's about, it's going to kind of be a mixed emotions announcement. So some people, they'll be like, oh yeah, yeah, all right, you do what you need to do. And then other people will be a bit like, I didn't see that coming. And then people will be like, what? No, you can't. So, it's going to be one of them. I think some people might be able to work out what it is. So I'm hoping they can. I'm kind of thinking in my mind, like, do I just go out and say it? Um, do I just go out and say it? So what I might do, I might just go out and say it. But I'm gonna make a proper stream about it because I want to make a proper announcement stream regarding this. But essentially, cutting the story short, I'm actually thinking about retiring as an MC, full stop. So I've been. So the thing about it is, like, I'm just gonna be open and honest. So when we came into the lockdown, when the coronavirus hit, we was all in the lockdown. I got back into the DJing side of things, and cutting the whole story short, I really got into it. And then when we came out of the lockdown, I began taking bookings as a DJ. And let's just say I lost the passion for the MCing. I got bored of it. It just doesn't feel like it's really me anymore. And I was kind of, because I built like an audience like as MC Noble, and people know me as MC Noble. I kind of I kind of felt like, like I had to somewhat keep some loyalty to the people that had like supported MC Noble, and the people that had said no, you can't stop MCing. Even though people will probably say that now, like, I kind of feel a little bit like they'll just say like, I kind of feel like now it is the right time to do so. So obviously when the lockdown came in, like I say, I lost a lot of passion for MCing. I got right into the DJ side of things. But I thought maybe it was just a phase. I thought, I always loved MCing. I still do to a degree, but it's more about like what I want to promote and push going forward. So it's not about saying like, oh, I hate MCs are shit, I don't like MCing anymore. It's more about like, what do I actually want to do as a musician? And when it comes to what do I actually want to do as a musician, I want to do music production and I want to DJ. When it comes to MCing, I enjoy it, but it's not where I want to be, if that makes sense. So I kind of, felt like I was trying to find a way to juggle how I could do both. So I could take like MC bookings and DJ bookings, but it's a really hard situation. So it's really hard to get people to kind of like see you as both. You do a couple of MC bookings and they think you're just an MC, and they don't think, we'll book him to DJ. No, he's an MC. You do a couple of DJ gigs and they don't book you for MC gigs because they think you're just a DJ. So it's really hard to kind of balance both. So I kind of feel, because I want to tackle and push the DJing more, that it is kind of the right time to step down as an MC. So what I've decided is I've got about 3 or 4 MC bookings this year that are already in the pipeline. So there's one in Liverpool, there's one in Scarborough, there's one in Mexborough, there's one next weekend, but I'm also DJing as well, and that is going to be a fun one. And there's one in Manchester, so that is another fun one. And then there is also, I think there's also one in, I think there's actually also one in September. So that is going to be crazy. That is going to be a crazy one. Once I've done all of them bookings, obviously I'm going to stay loyal, and I'm going to stay obviously to them bookings because I've already taken them. Um, So I think the one in Scotland will be the final one. That'll be the final booking that I'm gonna take as an MC for now. So I'm not saying like I'm never gonna do it again. Not saying that I'm never gonna MC again. But what I'm kind of saying, and I'm still gonna like jump on rap tracks and stuff, and I'm still gonna kind of do like the Jiggerman and Noble stuff, and I'll still do like the live performances as Jiggerman and Noble, and I'll still grab the mic for fun and stuff like that. Like just when I feel up for it and stuff. But I just physically not going to like take MC bookings sort of after. So I'm gonna take no more MC bookings. But the ones I've already got, I'm obviously going to foresee them bookings. So I'm gonna do them bookings. But the ones I aren't doing, the ones like say if someone texts me tomorrow to book me, I'd be like, unfortunately, I'm not taking any more MC bookings at the moment. I want to foresee the DJ bookings and I want to push the DJing. So I'm gonna be writing a post sometime, and I'm gonna be saying a little bit about what's coming up, and I'll do like a kind of like a positive post, and I'll say like these are all the upcoming MC bookings that I've got, and then sort of after that I will be kind of calling it a day for now, and then I'll be focusing on the DJing and pushing that and seeing kind of like how far I can take that, and hopefully we'll see sort of like how it goes. So, how are you, DJ? All good, my end. So, I'm gonna cut from this because I have a live stream DJing on Facebook at 7 o'clock on the Crazy Chaos page. So, I need to go and somewhat get ready for that, and everything's still packed in the bag from gigging yesterday. So amazing two gigs. I'll be doing a proper stream about the kind of stepping down from the MCing side of things, and I'll be writing a post at some point and stuff like that. So yeah, like, comment, share. We'll see you soon.